Welcome everyone. My name is Michelle Kelly, and I'd like to thank you for joining me today. In this presentation, we'll delve into ethical leadership theory, exploring its fundamental principles and how they shape decision-making and culture within organizations. We'll also analyze a real-world case study to understand the practical implications of ethical leadership. I'm excited to share these insights with you, so let's begin our exploration into the world of ethical leadership. At its core, ethical leadership is about principled guidance, embodying transparency and accountability in every action and decision made. It is the compass that directs organizations to navigate with integrity, building trust and ensuring success that lasts. The essence of ethical leadership was distilled by researchers such as Brown, Trevino, and Harrison, who perceived it as the model for leaders to influence their organization positively through their own ethical behavior and decision-making processes. Ethical leadership is not a mere set of rules to follow. It's a journey towards fostering an environment where values and morals are not just upheld, but are woven into the fabric of the organizational culture. Dr. Nuvo Chow, in her lecture on ethics and leadership, defined ethics as the embodiment of values and morals that individuals and society hold in high regard. It is these values that become the guiding star for ethical leaders. As we progress, remember, ethical leadership is more than a theory. It's a practice that requires dedication, a strong moral compass, and a commitment to the greater good. It's about making choices that benefit not just the individual or the organization, but society as a whole. Ethical leadership isn't a standalone concept. It's an interwoven framework of personal virtues, organizational values, and societal norms. It merges leading by example with justice and respect for every stakeholder involved. This framework is our guide for setting agendas, building belief systems, and shaping proposals that stand on the solid ground of ethicality. Ethical leaders are the beacon of an organization. They don't just influence outcomes, they elevate the moral standards of their teams. These leaders are the catalyst for societal value creation, and they instill confidence and competence in their followers, as highlighted in our readings. They ensure that every organizational stride is taken with dignity and integrity at its core. The ripple effect of ethical leadership is profound. It's been shown to significantly improve employee ethical behaviors, fostering a just and fair working environment. As leaders, our actions can either build or erode the organizational justice that is so crucial for equitable treatment and overall performance. Leadership is not just about steering the organization towards its goals, but doing so with a moral compass that guides every decision. Ethical decision-making is at the heart of leadership integrity, ensuring that actions are not only effective but just and honorable. It's about respect, justice, and community, where leaders are not only stewards of organizational objectives, but also guardians of ethical values. In balancing the nuanced demands of teleological benefits, deontological duties, and virtue ethics, leaders must navigate a complex ethical landscape. The true test of ethical leadership lies in making decisions that not only advance organizational goals, but also contribute positively to the well-being of all stakeholders. It is this delicate balance that defines the spirit of ethical leadership and shapes the moral fabric of the workplace. Thus, our commitment to ethical principles is what distinguishes transformative leaders who not only envision success, but achieve it through paths of integrity and respect. Putting ethical leadership into action means going beyond the profit margins. It's about transparent communication, setting clear ethical expectations, and living by the values we espouse. This is not a passive process, but an active commitment to guiding our teams with moral clarity. Leaders often encounter cognitive barriers that can impede ethical actions. This concept of bounded ethicality challenges us to engage in more reflective and deliberative thought processes to overcome these barriers. It's about being proactive in our ethical discourse to navigate through dilemmas effectively. As we stand on the brink of a new era in leadership, our compass must be firmly set on ethical principles. The ever-evolving landscape of global business, with its rapid technological advances and shifting societal norms, presents complex ethical challenges that require leaders to be both morally grounded and agile. Leaders of tomorrow must be prepared to navigate these intricacies with foresight and ethical clarity, making decisions that are not only effective, but just and principled. Continual learning and ethical adaptability are the hallmarks of future leaders. It's imperative that we commit to a path of ongoing reflection, actively engaging with new ideas and diverse perspectives to refine our understanding of ethical leadership. As we forge ahead, let's pledge to uphold and advocate for integrity, both in personal conduct and within our organizations, ensuring that the legacy we leave is one of unwavering ethical commitment and progressive humanistic values. Let's dive into the background of John Stumpf, the figure at the center of the Wells Fargo scandal. Stumpf, who climbed the ranks to become CEO in 2007, was at the helm when the fraudulent account creation came to light. His tenure at Wells Fargo, starting in 1982, was marked by his ascension during challenging economic times, affirming his reputation as a stable leader. Yet, under the guise of stability, a culture of unethical sales practices flourished, setting the stage for one of the banking industry's most infamous scandals. Let's explore the case analysis and background of the Wells Fargo scandal under John Stumpf's leadership. The company's employees faced immense pressure to meet ambitious sales targets. This untenable pressure led to the establishment of approximately 2 million unauthorized accounts, a clear manifestation of unethical sales practices. The controversy was brought to light in 2016, which sparked a nationwide outcry and placed the bank under immense media scrutiny. As the events unfolded, John Stumpf was summoned to testify before Congress to answer for the bank's internal culture and governance failures. The scandal culminated in Stumpf's resignation in October 2016, signifying a profound leadership and governance crisis within Wells Fargo. In the aftermath of the scandal, a critical examination of Wells Fargo incentive structure revealed significant flaws. Bank system and lack of effective oversight were found to be pivotal factors in driving unethical behaviors amongst employees. Despite John Stumpf's assertion of ignorance, subsequent investigations suggested that there was awareness of the fraudulent practices as early as 2012, yet no decisive action was taken to address them. This oversight, or lack thereof, resulted in Wells Fargo incurring massive fines and settlements, not to mention the irreparable damage to its reputation. This case underscores the profound implications of poor ethical judgment and the paramount importance of accountability within leadership roles. The Wells Fargo scandal was a watershed moment, raising critical questions about the balance between sales targets and ethical banking practices. It called into question the role of leadership in safeguarding ethical standards and triggered industry-wide introspection. This situation demonstrated the dire consequences when organizational culture prioritizes sales over customers' well-being, and it has since reshaped the industry's approach to governance and oversight. But what were the tangible outcomes of this cultural shift? In the fallout, we saw the tangible repercussions of unethical leadership. Wells Fargo's reputation suffered a major blow, with customers' trust eroding, regulatory bodies stepping in with fines, and shareholders witnessing a significant drop in stock values. John Stumpf, at the helm during this debacle, faced personal and professional ramifications. Financial clawbacks and a ban from the banking industry were just the beginning. This scandal is a stark reminder of the important role of ethics in sustaining not just a business longevity, but also the trust and support of its stakeholders. In retrospect, John Stumpf's tenure at Wells Fargo is a prime example of the dire consequences that can ensue when ethical oversight is compromised. The oversight failure under his leadership not only violated trust, but also illustrated the catastrophic impact of ignoring the ethical dimensions of business operations. His negligence in addressing the systematic unethical sales practice not only undermined customers' and employees' trust, but also sparked a widespread call for reform in corporate ethics. This case underscores the imperative for leaders to go beyond mere compliance. They must be the vanguards of integrity, consistently demonstrating and advocating for a culture that intertwines ethical conduct with business excellence. It's a stark reminder that the pursuit of financial objectives should never eclipse the core values of honesty, accountability, and trustworthiness that defines an organization's character. As we conclude, I'd like to revisit the essence of our discussion. Ethical leadership is the cornerstone of sustainable success, requiring transparency, accountability, and a steadfast moral compass. The case of John Stump at Wells Fargo has illustrated the consequences of straying from these principles. Let's carry forward the lessons learned, championing ethical practices within our sphere of influence. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to explore these critical issues together.